This is the OnePlus 8. It's an attractive, fast, and powerful device, but just like every other phone out there, it's not perfect. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at 5 great and 5 not so great things about the new OnePlus 8. Starting off with good stuff, you guessed it, we're talking about the display. This is one gorgeous panel, and even though it's only 1080p, like previous OnePlus devices, that has proven to be a non-issue. At 6.55 inches, this beautiful display is pure eye candy. It's bright, it's very colorful, and just fun to use and look at, especially with that 90 Hz refresh rate. Next, we're talking Oxygen OS, and I'm sure by now we all know how great a piece of software this is. OnePlus continues to do a fine job keeping things fast and smooth, neat and easy to navigate without skimping on features and customization. Not to mention, OnePlus stays on top of things with updates, bug fixes, and refinements. It's no wonder so many people have come to love Oxygen OS and prefer it over basically any other version of Android. Next up, battery life. The OnePlus 8 has shown it can compete with some of the best in terms of battery performance. We've seen comparable results to the likes of Samsung's Galaxy S20 Plus, as I've clocked in 6 to 7 hours of screen on time myself, no problem, and that's with heavy use. The 1080p display and 90 Hz refresh rate as opposed to 120 definitely play a part in this, as users can expect to get strong, reliable battery life out of this device. And that brings us to speed. As we know, OnePlus devices are all about speed. From bouncing in between applications, playing games, general everyday tasks, getting work done, everything is fast and runs great. Face unlock and the fingerprint reader are quick to respond. Even charging the phone with the included fast charger is lightning fast. You can go from 0 to a 50% charge in a little over 20 minutes, which is pretty insane. There's no doubt that this is one of the fastest phones all around that you'll ever come across. Last up, I want to talk about the cameras. As imperfect as they are, you can still get some really nice results out of them. This triple camera array is really fun to snap pictures with the macro lens being especially fun to mess around with. In most conditions, photos will come out looking really nice with good dynamic range, nice color, and good detail. With a refined camera software setup, a wide selection of shooting modes, and the specs to back it up, the overall camera experience is quite good and worthy of a spot on the list of this phone's best features. But now it's time to flip the page over and look at some of the non-best features. First up, the curved display. You know how it goes. As much as curved edges are fun and nice to behold, they're not as fun and nice when you beholden the phone in your hand. Okay, that was a bad pun, but seriously, I think OnePlus did it right with the 7T. And I know a lot of us do wish they kept that flat panel design. And no, a case will not automatically solve the accidental input issue. To me and many others, I think it may be time to move away from curved display edges. Next, no wireless charging. The 8 Pro has wireless charging, so why not the regular 8? Sure, you can say it's to keep the cost of the phone down, but the fact of the matter is there are plenty of devices out there with wireless charging, even devices that cost a lot less than this one have it. To me, it didn't even absolutely have to be 30 watt capable. Regular 15 watt would have been just fine and nice to have for the convenience aspect. It's not a deal breaker, but something a lot of us feel should have been a thing, especially for what this phone costs. Speaking of cost, we have to talk about that for a sec. At $700, this phone isn't cheap. Sure, it's not quite $1,000, but with a rise in very solid mid-range offerings, it makes you wonder if this phone is worth that much, especially when taking into consideration OnePlus's very own 7T. Currently sitting at just $500, the 7T is very close to what the 8 has to offer, and it has a flat display. Of course, the latest processor as well as the addition of 5G add on to the cost, but that still doesn't take away from the fact that this phone becomes more difficult to recommend at its current price. It's getting crowded out there. Next up, this phone is mad slippery. It'll even slide off a desk if I'm not careful. As much as I enjoy the finish on OnePlus's new phones, they're not the easiest thing to hang on to if I'm being honest, especially when you have to hold the phone in a certain way to prevent accidental input. If you find yourself experiencing the same thing with your phone, check out channel sponsor Dbrand. They've got a ton of different skins with different textures that can help. They also help switch up the look of your phone too. I especially like this one that shows off what the inside of the phone looks like. Link below. Now, I know I mentioned the cameras in the other category, but I have to mention them here as well. As good as these cameras are, we know they can be better. This is not the same set as what we get with the 8 Pro. Some of us reviewers have found them to be a bit underwhelming. I've heard from some people that they wished the phone had a telephoto lens instead of a macro lens, which of course means there's no optical zoom. I've even heard some people say that they would have preferred OnePlus to have left out 5G completely and instead use the same camera setup on the 8 Pro. And to be honest, I kind of agree with that. Either way, the cameras are not bad by any means. They're quite good, like I said. We just feel that some things could have been tackled a little differently. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave it a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's been Zach. I'll talk to you guys later, and thank you so much for watching.